is my birthday, and I'm expecting a call from someone in my family. I may as well dig into the whole family bullshit just for therapeutic purposes. I don't know if I would actually publish any of this on YouTube. None of it's, none of it's like something that can't be spoken. That's a matter of policy with me. I don't do nothing that I can't talk about. You know what I mean? Clean as a whistle, as they say, for most for most things. I guess it goes back to the house. I have these feelings of codependent. I'll be honest, I'm a little codependent. Wouldn't be wrong to say so. I'm living under the roof of what my grandparents came into. And they came into it because they used to live in Sunset Park. And when they tore down a bunch of houses on 3rd Avenue to make room for the Gowanus Expressway, they came upon the house where it resides now. For doxing purposes, I won't mention exactly where it is. Even though I start almost every fucking video from the house. So the house is a generational house. It could be considered an estate. Although for legal purposes, I don't know what the fuck it's considered now. My old man did some shady shit where the house was supposed to be split 3 ways. And it wasn't split 3 ways. The old man gave us each $10,000, which is like an infinitesimally small fraction of the value of the house. Instead, my sister went to live there after my grandmother passed away. She got hit by a fucking city bus. She fell off a curb, and the city bus crushed her head. I remember distinctly. I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, and my old man knocks on the door in my room. He's like, yeah, detective just called me. Grandma, had a head crushed by a city bus. And I looked at him and I says, at least it was quick. Her sister Aunt Jenny was going from dementia. So grandmother was 86 years old, go figure. And she got 86 by the city bus. The the MTA fixed the curb. It was like a broken curb on Bay Ridge Avenue that she fell off of in front of the bus. But like I said, I told my old man it was quick. And I should have talked to him about it then, but I was like healing for Sunken Temple. World of Warcraft had just come out at that point. And I'm like, Sunken Temple group, got 4 of the people, dependent on me here for the group. I either go talk to my old man or I, this group tanks, this group needs to find somebody else. I wound up healing the thing. I was processing what my old man had just told me. Finished the dungeon, got the dragon scales or whatever. You gotta prioritize these things in life. And, I went to talk to him, and it was very brief what we spoke about anyways. So fast forward, my sister moves in, I move in, things are going good. Sister stops, she has issues. She has, health issues or whatever, no problem. But at the same turn, she's got health issues, but she doesn't want to find a job. She loses a job. She doesn't find another job. And then she's hanging out at like a tattoo shop in Staten Island. Okay, I'm not gonna try to like air all dirty laundry or whatever. But like, money starts to become an issue. I'm working construction there. I'm doing the fucking, early 20s, eat, work, sleep routine. Oblivious. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I have dinner with my sister. Most times I don't. Most times I'm starving myself to death and eating junk food. or a mix between the two. You know what I mean? I'm going for drinks at the bar after work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Well, mostly, as for most of my life, I'm staying to myself. Anyways, things start to escalate. You know, my name is the same name as my grandfather's, so like the electric bill was still under my grandfather's name. So it's a giant ass electric bill that my sister stopped paying, and she's like in control of the house. You know what I mean? She's older than me by 15 years or so. So with the electric bill, it comes in my name. It's like $3,000, whatever. You know, not a small amount, but it wasn't nothing. My concern was that it was in my name. It was in the same name that I have, but it wasn't my name. Okay, so we got some oddities going on with naming conventions. I'm named after a dead man and I'm paying his bills. Okay, you know, get poorly fucking with kind of borderline black magic shit, and like I'm dealing with ghosts of my grandfather now, or you know, what's going on here. Long story short, I paid a bill, but I let my old man know. You know, I paid the bill. It was under, you know, it was under the name or what have you. And, you know, that caused like a rift between my older sister and my father. They started fighting about it. Now, my old man, he's not a wise person by any stretch of the imagination. He's not wise with his family. So much unprocessed trauma that still to this day he refuses. He's actually, it's not even a matter of refusal. He's simply unable to process, you know, some of the shit that he doesn't even understand, which is a sobering thing for a son to come to realize about, you know, about their father, because you know, you come with the assumption that, you know, your father, your parent, your guardian, whoever, might, you know, have some guidance or wisdom about these certain things. And the fact of the matter is, you know, some people, they hit a ceiling and that's it. They call it good. You know what I mean? They hit some goal, or they you know, they do what they want to do in life, and that's it. Like, that's the ceiling, and they're not going any further on it. You know what I mean? So my sister and my father stopped talking, and I keep trying to talk to them. It's like, you both gotta like communicate. Like, I'm begging my sister, like, please just, you know, stay humble and let him yell and realize he's a fucking unbelievable asshole. Everybody else in the family knows it. You know, my mother, my brother, myself, she knows it. And I'm like, just for the sake of peace, to square this away, because it needed to be rectified. You know, just like, I could have paid it and not said anything to my father, which would have, like, it would have swept everything under the rug. In a roundabout way, is my fault, but I opened that fucking Pandora's box for whatever reason. Maybe I was resentful to my sister because she, you know, like, I was starting to get taken advantage of, and it's my sister and my niece, and it's like, you know, I'm gonna start taking up the responsibility for the entire house, which I probably should have. But I was young, and I didn't understand the gravity of, like, where it would lead to down the road. You know, I didn't have the prescience, the forward thinking that I might have, you know, now, the ability to look ahead and, like, okay, I can pay the utility bills or whatever, or, you know, I can cover this, not a problem, you know. And I always assumed that my father and my sister would work it out, but long story short, they never worked it out. My sister stopped talking to my father. She stopped communicating. And, you know, that hurt the old man. And then she stopped communicating with me. That didn't hurt me as much. At that point, I knew she wasn't doing the right thing. She just, she clamped up. On the same turn, my old man's the same way. Now that the shoe is on the other foot, he can't speak to me. But I think he physiologically cannot speak to me anymore. Like, I think he just hits his fucking ceiling and he starts barking. He's like a dog. He's always prided himself on being a fucking wolf man, which is pathetic if you really think about it. Who the fuck wants to be like a dog? You know what I mean? A wolf man is surrendered to a curse of, like a curse by a gypsy or whatever the backstory is. So, long story short, it's not something that you would like want to be viewed as unless you were kind of a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Who wants to be a dog? For real. Dogs eat chocolate, by the way, but I had a buddy of mine, a work associate, would befriend guard dogs by throwing them a piece of steak every once in a while. You do it for a week, that guard dog will be your best friend. You know what I mean? Unsupervised, as long as the owners are not around. The dog will be like, lick your hand the whole night, whatever. Not reliable. Dogs are not reliable in that respect. Even guard dogs. You feed a guard dog, good piece of steak. That guard dog won't give a fuck. You fucking go run up into the fucking house or the building or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's a new age. People don't use guard dogs like they used to, unless you're like a fucking Michael Vick sort or whatever. So that was rough. My old man evicts my sister. I watch my old man evict my sister. My mother tells me to stay out of it. I stay out of it because it was getting nasty. I'm like, you both use, like, really should just, like, I pleaded with my sister, please just humble yourself. And she's like, no, I can't do it anymore, the way he talks to me. And trust me, I understand, because he's the kind of guy where he'll fucking yell, scream, or punch his way out of shit. You know what I mean? Unwise. He used to read books. He used to be smart. And he traded it all gradually over time for just sitting in front of the couch watching sports, getting blasted in the face of pharmaceutical commercials. You know what I mean? He used to be pretty smart, pretty smart. He was always kind of illiterate. I've seen some of his writing. Not a pretty picture. But he's not a stupid person by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not necessarily wise either. Like, not wise in matters of his own fucking family. He's more concerned with what strangers think of him, which in and of itself is unwise. You know what I mean? Growing up in the city or whatever, I guess